Hello everyone. I would like to thank you first of all for your patience to wait this much time to take part in this exciting session about sports and how it impacts sustainable development and peace building on all levels, whether it is on a community level, national level, regional, and international. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Rayan Mahfouz. I'm part of EU Connect network in Lebanon. I hold a master's degree in economic policy. And when I was 7 years old, I developed a passion about sports. And I had this dream one day to become this famous athlete or even a prominent figure in the sports industry, representing his home country in prestigious international tournaments and competitions. Unfortunately, I was in an environment that did not support me adequately on both logistical and financial levels, so I would boost both my physical and mental health and get the opportunity to become a famous representative in my country on a sports level. That's why my dream turned into flames, and I was forced to study economic sciences and followed up with a master's degree in political economy. Simultaneously, while I was devoted to volunteering opportunities for specific social and humanitarian causes, I gave it a shot during my university studies, specifically in my master's degree, when I got the opportunity to volunteer at a sports tournament that gathers universities from Lebanon and all over the world. Since then, I have become more passionate than ever about sports, not to forget the passion that I have shown uh, for more than 20 years when I was binging on watching football games and have this knowledge of all the sports that could be practiced worldwide. After I completed my master's degree in political economy, I turned into becoming a sports commentator recently for the Lebanese Basketball Federation and a communications officer for the Lebanese Badminton Federation, alongside my passion about entrepreneurship that I translated it into becoming the co-founder and the executive director of my startup, Shooting Stars Academy, which is a social venture that aims to empower youth and people with disabilities to become professional athletes and talented experts in the sports industry. Today, with pride, I'm sharing with you this knowledge about how can sports affect sustainable development, knowing the fact that I recently, 6 months ago, completed my certificate in sports media, and I'm here to tap with you into the sports world from its large spectrum, not the one that we see on TV. Therefore, I'm going to start with this introductory question. How much do you love sports? Feel free to unmute yourself. And most importantly, you can answer in the chat box in case you have struggles in unmuting yourself due to the internet connection.
Well, hello everyone. Hello Rayan. It's good to see you. I'm really happy to see you guys all. Um, oh, like coming from a Jordanian like who went to the finals of
Yes.
Asian Cup. Man, I love sport like all day, all night. But yeah, um, I would like I prefer to sit here, hear what you say about like sports and its relation to SDGs, maybe more than sports right now because Qatar is playing and yo,
Yeah.
it's not important anymore. Yeah.
I would like to congratulate you, by the way, Ali, and all our fellow Jordanians on having their national team reaching the finals after a long while, maybe, because we all know that Jordan is very strong in football and basketball. And today it's with pride that we see Jordan reaching the finals, and hopefully we see a fully Arab final between Jordan and the host Qatar. Congratulations. I'm gonna send to you, by the way, some songs for the Jordanian national team and the Jordanian famous songs after we finish. So we celebrate together, Ali, if you would like to do so.
Yeah, let's go, man. It
Fantastic.
would be amazing.
So in the chat box, I see that Nicole says 8 over 10 and Sam 3 over 10. That's something really touching. And Miriam saying that she loves playing sports games, but not physically as a physical activity. She would say 5 over 10. I would say it is fair. You have some interest in sports, Miriam, which is something obvious. And Estelle saying 8 over 10, knowing the fact that she's a certified yoga trainer. And I had the chance to meet Estelle in Brussels before her yoga session that she wanted to deliver to our fellows at the EU Engineer. This is something quite interesting. And Zakaria saying 6 over 10. And Wala, wow, she loves sports that much, especially football and tennis. Wala, I would like to ask you,
Mhm.
uh, which football team do you support?
In Egypt, I'm a
Yeah,
big fan for Al Ahly, of course. I'm
same
coming
here.
from the family. The family is are adore the football. So and actually, my brother playing football since he was in 5 year. He was 5 years. Since 5 years, he playing the football, and I for 4 years I played the tennis in my prep and high school. So yeah, I adore and not just love the sports, but I adore the sports, especially the football and tennis. Yes.
That's fantastic. And by the way, do you watch tennis games? Do you have a figure that you would love the most?
Yes. Now, Ons, I love her and I follow her in I watching her games and matching. I matched and I don't remember his name, but Friedrich. He's a he's from a player from Switzerland.
Roger Federer?
Um, and yes, and in the past when I was a young, it was the most famous girl,
Yes.
of course, Maria Sharapova. So.
Wow. I
Mhm,
actually love both of them, to be very honest with you. Well,
mhm,
I'm a fan of Roger
mhm,
Federer and Maria Sharapova, and I also like
mhm.
Serena Williams. She's my number one, actually.
Yes, yeah.
Nicole saying she's a fan of Djokovic. I think we will not agree during this
Djokovic.
entire session, Nicole, because I hate Djokovic a lot because
Me
Thank
too.
you.
Me
I
too.
love
Me too.
him.
Same here. Same here.
I was a
Man,
fan of
like
Nadal, then I moved to Djokovic.
you
ah,
either
okay.
love or hate Djokovic. You can't like be in the
Exactly.
middle.
Yeah, yeah. Although Djokovic, he's the most hated person, but on a performance level, he's outstanding. He broke the record of having the most Grand Slam titles, passing Federer, Sampras, Nadal, and so many athletes. Thank you guys for sharing all your insights. It's a really smooth, amazing start. Now to the second question. How much do you practice sports? Miriam, 0 over 10. Expected based on the first answer. Yeah. Who else would like? Estelle, 10 over 10. No need to mention the fact that she's a yoga teacher once again. Zakaria and Wala saying 5 over 10. Wow. And Ansam 0 over 10. That's quite interesting, actually. Zakaria, how much do you practice sports? Whether per week, per month?
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much, Rayan. Congratulations on all the things you are doing. I'm so proud of you, man.
Thank you
So
very
going
much.
back to your question, you're welcome. Going back to your question, I do practice 2 times a week. The reason why I put a score out of 10, I do like sport a lot. Football, basketball. I watch the yearly France tour for bicycle. but I put 6 out of 10 because I'm very logical and honest. 5 out of 10. I walk every day. If this is considered a sport, I do walk. I have a goal every day, 8 to 10 kilometer. So that's simple. And for sport, I practice just once to twice a week. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Zakaria, for sharing. And it's not wrong that if you practice less than 4 days, like Ali does. In fact, 2 days per week, I think it's reasonable. And if you walk, this is also something better because I usually walk every day. I love walking, even if I go to my work or I go to buy my goods from groceries or anywhere, because I'm someone very agile, dynamic, and I don't stand still. I don't sit for a longer period. I'd rather to walk anywhere, whether at home, in my room, or anywhere, I would be there. Thank you very much, Zakaria, for sharing. Now for the third question. I don't think that I'm gonna ask you this question because as I see many of you watch sports, except unless someone would like to jump and says no, I don't mind actually because there is no wrong or right answer or something you're obliged to do. Now I'm gonna move into uh, this question that will make us hopefully start this session immediately. What is sustainable development for you? When talking about sustainable development, when you hear about this word, what does it mean to you? It's not about its exact definition. We're here to see what does it mean to you on all levels. Meanwhile, in the chat box, Wala was saying that if we consider that walking is a sport, so I practice sports every day, walking for 1 hour. That's amazing, Wala. It's very good to stay active through walking, and this way you enhance your physical activity in a way or another. Anyone would like to
Uh,
answer?
yeah, for sure.
Go, Ali.
Well, sustainable development. I'm not gonna answer on maybe like the what it means, what it actually means, but I would say from a human point of view, like to sustain yourself. So maybe sustainable development in a lifestyle would be, of course, related or regarding the theme of this session, which is sports and stuff. So if you have a good and healthy lifestyle uh, with like good habits, you're gonna sustain your life, uh, and you will have a good quality life. So from that like point of view, that's what actually I thought of. It may be like in your good habits and lifestyle, good lifestyle, you can actually uh, sustain you like your life, I would say, in a way.
You're, I really love your approach, Ali, especially that this point that you mentioned will be tackled in our upcoming part when we'll be talking about the SDGs, because it's very crucial to sustain ourselves on physical, mental, and spiritual levels, because sports has diverse aspects, diverse approaches through which we can achieve sustainable development. And Estelle said in the chat box, taking care of our body and mental health, it is a crucial step actually to move forward and work on achieving sustainable development on a personal level, even when it comes on a communal level. And Miriam says that meeting our personal or collective needs. And this is also part of the sustainability. When we work on achieving our personal interests, we should also take care of the collective interest, which is the group or the community that we are part of. Wala says that it's the balance between the environment, economy, and equity. Yes, it is one of the aspects, actually, Wala, because it's important to achieve sustainability on an economic level, making people financially comfortable, and on an equity level, making things more accessible when it comes to education, basic needs, decent job conditions, and so many other aspects related to environmental protection, fighting against climate change, and peace building. Yes, Zakaria, what would you like to say because you raised your hand?
Yes, thank you. For me, it typically refers to efforts to implement and achieve the 17 goals at various scales and levels, including from core, international, national, uh, local, and individual. So all of these levels combined can lead up to one sentence, which is think global and act local.
That's amazing. That's a very good point. When working on achieving sustainability, we talk here about the individual in the first place. Then we move into a group of people on a communal level. Then we touch the entire society prior to working on a national level with all stakeholders from all backgrounds, regions, and places. And lastly, moving into the regional and the international. What you mentioned is absolutely right, Zakaria, because nowadays we are facing this issue into making this transition when it comes to achieving sustainable development. Now I'm gonna move into this topic that we all love, and which is, I think, related to our work as connectors. I'm not gonna ask you the definition of the SDGs. I'm here to see which SDGs you are working on or you are interested in the most based on your background, experiences, something that you are passionate about. I would love to hear from you.
Um, I want to start. For me, I'm working actually on the SDGs number 16 and 17, business and strong institutions and partnerships for the goals. And beside that, climate change, I think it's the number 13, um, climate action or climate justice.
That's amazing. I'm
Mhm.
actually working on my throughout my social venture on the SDG 16 and 17 because you will discover how sports achieves peace building and the partnership for the goals, because through sports activities you can establish lots of collaborations, lots of partnerships in order to enhance solidarity among community members. Meanwhile, I would like to get back to the chat box when after Miriam what said, think global and act local. This is an amazing small proverb, let's say, or a small motivational world. Thank you very much, Miriam, for sharing. And Ali says he's working on the SDG 4, 16, and 17. I'm actually a big fan of SDG 4, Ali, because throughout my Shooting Stars Academy, we work on promoting this kind of sports culture among Lebanese youth. And Estelle says on 3 and 12, I'm totally 110% sure that Estelle chose the best SDGs for her because she always does meditation and yoga and focuses on maintaining a good well-being and mental health, and SDG 12 because I'm really inspired by her content when she's encouraging each one of us not to buy the fast fashion items, instead buying recycled and eco-friendly clothes, which is something that it's highly recommended nowadays. That's really awesome, Estelle, and hopefully you keep on inspiring us since you are also part of the EU Neighbors South team, without doubts. And
Thank you,
some,
Ryan.
my
It seems
pleasure.
that you follow me carefully.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would like to say maybe a few words about the responsible consumption and
Yeah, go ahead.
production, just to share maybe my experience. As you said, I'm quite strongly against fast fashion. And actually, I was buying a lot of clothes before. I was always the first one shopping on the first day of sales when I was studying. So I come from far, but today I'm happy to say it's been, I think, 4 years, maybe more, that I haven't bought anything uh, in fast fashion, and almost nothing that is new and not sustainable. So it's possible to do it. That's what I wanted to share, because it seems very complicated, but there are many different alternatives: exchanging clothes, sewing your own clothes, buying from sustainable sustainable shops, or even buying secondhand clothes. So it's really doable, and I would encourage you maybe to take the challenge, because for me it was a 6 months challenge that never ended in the end. So sometimes when we put a bit our limits, you can discover beautiful things behind. So yeah, I just wanted to share this experience.
That's really inspiring, and we are really uh, proud of hearing such a statement and such an experience, because this way we aware each other about how we can all together act for climate change and protect our environment and dearest earth in so many ways. No need to focus only on the pollution aspect. We can instead recycle from our main resources, and then do something more sustainable out of the box. And what Estelle said is something also out of the box, because instead of sticking ourselves to traditional approaches of recycling and protecting our environment, this would be a very good step in order to promote this responsible citizenship that we will tackle when talking about the SDGs. Moving on into the answers in the chat box, I think Ansam says that she focuses on SDG 3, and Orla, with her intervention, the fashion industry is the #1 polluter in the world. So you second what Estelle said, and this is something that we all agree on. Zakaria, wow, you are dividing everything on so many levels, from the international to the local. It seems that you are very, very, very active in SDGs, which is something very good. Now we can start asking you this question, guys. In your opinion, how can sports tackle the issues related to both hunger and poverty? What is the relationship that exists between sports and eradicating poverty and hunger on all levels? I see so many people faces thinking, especially you, Zakaria.
Tough one, Rayan.
Yes?
I'm saying that's a tough question.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Because this is maybe something new that no one is used to.
No. Yalla, Zakaria, give it a try. Charity games and something.
It's not wrong, guys, to answer wrong questions here, because we're here to exchange knowledge with each other and learn from each other. And Sam said the charity gains. You're absolutely right about this topic. And Nicole said that sports becomes something professional, providing more jobs, and maybe focusing on the financial sustainability. And Estelle says that it makes me think about marathon to raise money for those causes. This is absolutely the right answers, ladies, because sports, it's a great tool for athletes, professional sports clubs, sports organizations to work on organizing and animating charity programs and events in order to promote awareness about tackling poverty, and how it is important to support poor and underprivileged people. And like Nicole said, sports, it's a good opportunity for people to make themselves financially secure. and receive employment opportunities in sports organizations. They could be trainers, they could be working in sports venues, stadiums, or any professional club that needs their services and expertise. Moreover, sports is a good opportunity for people to increase their livelihood and their well-being on so many levels. And this is something that is indirectly related to poverty, because when we organize sports competitions or any kind of sports activity in order to raise funds for poor people, we work at some point on increasing their livelihood and make them enjoy the opportunity to have access to the basic needs. Simultaneously, sports is a great tool to reduce hunger worldwide and on all levels, whether it's local, communal, national, or even regional. Take the example of Barcelona Football Club. They have the UNHCR as their main sponsor. Barcelona is part of such a program. The same applies to UNICEF previously. Barcelona always work at some point to advocate for supporting children. Any other organization or any other professional sports club would definitely work on advocating for having people more access to food and essential needs to increase their physical well-being and livelihood. This way, sports contribute to advocate for food security, having population more access to food. Moreover, since we are talking about the interrelation between sports and hunger, knowing the fact that sports boosts both physical and mental health, it's also a great opportunity for individuals and sports entities with all their taking into consideration all their types. They would definitely work on promoting awareness about eating healthy and having sustainable nutrition and lifestyle. And last but not least, sports is also an opportunity for individuals, sports entities, professionals in the field to reduce a bit the food waste, because we all know that a lot of food goes away with the wind, and most importantly, uh, uh, a lot of people leave food leftovers behind. Through sports activities, we give the opportunity for people not to waste food anymore. And Zakaria said in the chat box that it helps social inclusion, promoting equity and community development. These points, Zakaria, will be tackled in the upcoming SDGs. And Orla, in parallel, uh, said that international competitions inadvertently draw attentions to inequalities within certain countries. You are absolutely right, Orla. For example, in the World Cup that took place in Brazil, and that Nada talked about actually, in 2014, Brazil organized the FIFA World Cup with the aim to increase their economic growth and reduce as much as they can the poverty. Unfortunately, because of political tensions, alongside some organizational inefficiencies, Brazil did not achieve its objective throughout this World Cup, and this led to increase more the poverty and have more inequalities on so many levels. Do you have here any questions, guys? All is good. Perfect. Now I'm going to ask you guys this interesting question. In your opinion, what is one of the reasons why we have a lot of mortality in the world? What is one of the reasons behind this increasing level of mortality?
Lack of physical activity.
You said it, Miriam. Excellent. And let's see in the chat box here. Heart disease is one of the reasons, actually. Unhealthy food as well, from Nicole. But the right answer for this question, because we are talking about the sports aspect, it is the physical activity. According to the World Health Organization, the physical inactivity is classified among the fourth reason why there is a lot of there's an increased mortality rate worldwide. It is related to the idea that we don't practice sports well, or even we don't give signs of physical activity. And according to the World Health Organization, it is highly recommended that each individual practices sports for 5 hours per week. And the more we practice sports, the more we reduce the risk of getting contracted with non-communicable diseases. Moreover, when we practice sports, this would reduce the mortality, the maternal one, and children. Because imagine a pregnant woman who would practice sports all the time. This would give her the opportunity to stay fit, avoid gaining unnecessary weight. Moreover, it will give her the opportunity to reduce the chances and risks of having her new baby born passing away. And that's one of the greatest aspects of sports. Simultaneously, sports increases the impact on the well-being positively, well-being on a physical level, on a psychological level, mental level, and emotional level, knowing the fact that sports contribute to the development and the building of muscles, and it organizes the cardiovascular system and the cardiovascular frequencies in our body. Is there any question here?
Yes,
Oh,
I might just add. Oh, sorry.
Yes, go
yeah,
ahead,
go
Orla.
I was just gonna, although maybe you were going to touch on this, but I think it's an interesting point. Sorry, let me just turn on my video. More polite. Um, you see that a lot of people are members of gyms, but being in a gym while it's reduce your you're exercising, so you're getting that cardiovascular workout and the muscles are worked. But something that's changed over time is that people are participating in team sports less and less. And when you look at aspects like the psychological well-being, the positive impact on, let's say, the psychological well-being. This is something that really, I mean, team sports inevitably helps with. And not only that, but when you look at, I mean, when I was looking at the title of the event today, um, participating in team sports means you have to, in a certain sense, abide by certain rules. You have the respect of the other team. You have cooperation within your own team. So there are a whole lot of other skills that you get apart from just the physical. And that is something that, as people engage less and less in group activities, we're missing out on, I think.
You're absolutely right, Orla, and thank you very much for sharing your point of view, because today we will discover together on how sports promote the values of tolerance, mutual respect, and this is not only limited to the personal aspect, it also includes the respect that we must show to our bodies, to our muscles, to each and every organ available in our body. So we would work on achieving sustainability on both physical and mental levels, to stay fit and have this routine and healthy lifestyle that we will talk about in our session. So, guys, I'm here to know from you, in your personal opinion, how through sports we can offer quality education, how sports can contribute to the SDG number 4, which is related to making quality education accessible for everyone. Okay, in the meantime, I would see if there is someone who would love to answer in the chat box, and feel free to unmute yourselves. There is no right or wrong question. We're here to exchange ideas with each other. So don't be afraid even if the answer is wrong.
I think it's the aspect that Orla just mentioned also, which is like through teamwork you get to learn how to be disciplined. You get to learn how to coordinate with others. All these. I think hmm, I'm not sure what the term is,
You're
but
absolutely right, actually, Miriam, because in sports, actually, we teach people and train them on improving their life skills, whether it is related to the teamwork aspect, like Orla said, and even on individual level, when we teach them how to lead by example and how to communicate. The leadership, communication, and teamwork are the main essence of any sports team, not to forget the commitment and discipline sides. These two other aspects are also crucial in order to make quality education well developed among individuals. And throughout sports, it gives the opportunity, sports give the opportunity for everyone to develop their psychomotor skills, their cognitive skills. It will give them the opportunity to think, for example, if they have the ball and they have their teammate against one of their opponents in a two against one situation. Here, the individual would think, would I pass the ball or would I take the ball and shoot it and make it into the net? And here comes the communication aspect. Will I communicate with my teammate using the body language, eye contact, or I would decide immediately to take the shot? Here are the most important aspects when talking about sports, how it contributes to offering quality education. And most importantly, sports is a great tool to balance between the formal and informal education. When we talk about formal education, we talk about the education we receive from schools, universities. But when we move into informal education, we here talk about the workshops, the activities that are organized in an informal way without the need of any institution, maybe by some people who would love to organize some activities with each other so they would increase the bonds together and build this family and solidarity spirit, which is also part of the teamwork that Orla insisted on. And last but not least, sports activities are an alternative for the physical education and the physical activities that are offered by universities, sports, and also the institutions that are specialized in physical education and sports sciences. And the examples are many. For example, in Lebanon, we have the NGO Game Lebanon. It offers the opportunity for youth to learn more about how sports contribute to entrepreneurship, economic development, gender equality, and how to build safe and sustainable communities by organizing sports activities within a specific region or town in order to teach children some specific skills, how to tolerate each other, how to enhance their teamwork, how to communicate with each other using sports activities. Zakaria, would you like to share something? You have any question or feedback?
Yeah, I just have additional information. Thank you so much for this 3 points. حقيقة في sports, it's under something we call it mad skills, sports and art. And also volunteering is part of the mad skills. So I just have one follow-up that sports increase the sense of responsibility in the individual aspect. And this is something super important for students, especially to learn how to be responsible. And at the same time, it increase the sense of discipline because you've mentioned this. I'm just adding some follow-up because if we want to have this collaborative approach inside a team, of course, we need the communication, as you mentioned. And if there is no discipline, like respecting mutual respect or something like this, uh, we will just have the individual approach, not a collaborative approach. So this is the points I just want to add to what you shared. Thank you.
A huge pleasure and a heartfelt thank you, Zakaria, for sharing, because discipline and commitment are the secret sauce for every successful sports team and for every athlete to become successful and writing history by breaking records. And the examples are plenty. And what you talked about, this is something that we lack nowadays by most of the individuals. And that's why, on a team level, they end up struggling, not working on achieving their goals. Now I'm going to move to the gender equality aspect in sports. And I would love to hear, especially from the ladies here, how through sports we can achieve the gender equity or this gender equality uh, by empowering women or even other genders concerned.
Could
Yes,
I,
Orla.
yeah, maybe. I think what's maybe a good example here is where if women are playing on a sports team, they can show how they can be leaders. I mean, whether this means that they themselves are coaches or whether they're the captain of their team, maybe they also act, let's say, as referees. In this sense, no, and some, yeah, for this I would be talking about single sex sports. So I suppose it's, yes, a leadership within their own gender, but I mean sometimes like more informally there are, yeah, or let's say less competitively there are mixed teams with things. But these are maybe just some of the examples when you talk specifically about leadership, Rayan, that I think of.
You're absolutely right on this aspect, Orla, because when talking about sports and gender equality, uh, we're here to emphasize on the importance of physical activities in developing the skills of women, making them leaders in their communities, making them protected from any kind of harassment, boosting their self confidence, boosting their self esteem, and working on making them active change makers in their communities as many other people creating impact. And Sam was asking if it is the mixed teams. It could be one because, based on my experience in so many sports tournaments, there are some competitions that encourage creating this mixed team between a combination of one men and women within one team, and this is something that embraces gender equality. And like you said, Ansam, give more attention to the women's league, promote more awareness about empowering women in sports competitions, giving them the media exposure that they deserve, and so many other things. And most importantly, when talking about gender equality in sports, we focus on promoting a safe environment. And like Zakaria said, challenging the gender stereotypes, making the sports opportunities equally accessible for everyone, promoting safe environment for women in terms of what? In being protected from any physical abuse, harassment, or any harm that would affect a woman on physical and psychological level. And like we said, we give the opportunity to develop the woman's skills through practicing sports activities. For example, I have my friend who has her own initiative, Play in Her Shoes. She is also my colleague in commentating on the Lebanese Basketball Federation games. She has her own initiative, Play in Her Shoes, that aims on empowering women in sports, especially in Lebanon, and giving equal access to sports opportunities and highlighting women's successes in the sports industry, whether on a national and international levels. Now, guys, I'm going to move on into another important question. How do you think that sports can lead us to have, uh, let's say, affordable sources of energy, and most importantly, a clean water and sanitation? I know this is a very tricky question and it is harder than the previous ones, but I would love to hear from you how, throughout sports itself, we can have affordability in terms of energy and clean water and sanitation? Yes, Nicole, that's a tough question. I agree with you, and I already said it.
Rayan, the only way I could think of it is like, for example, when people run, like they're able to, for example, yeah, the kilometers they're running, they're able to transform these into energy. That's the only way I could think of it, honestly.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's something easier that you want to tell us, actually.
To clarify things and give you a hint, think about the renewable energy. Uh, Less carbon with bicycles is one of the aspects, actually.
Ah, yeah.
This is one of the examples
Mhm.
that is tackled by Nicole. We can consider your answer is right, Nicole, in a way and another, because in this way, you are more than welcome. Actually, when we talk about sports and talking about energy, sports is an opportunity for everyone to reduce the water waste. How? When we organize sports tournaments that require the use of water, like swimming, kayak, water polo, and any other aquatic sports, uh, it's highly recommended that sports venues, stadiums, and organizations respect the water sanitation standards in their infrastructure. They should ensure that water at their facilities is not polluted. It is uh, eligible for everyone to practice aquatic activities. Moreover, throughout sports competitions, we can promote awareness and organize campaigns about how to manage water effectively and treat water against any pollution or any danger related to its hygiene. Because we all know that people throw their trash in marine zones and water resources, and this is something that negatively impact the possibility of organizing aquatic sports tournaments. We can take the example of the canoe kayak, the swimming, and the triathlon. The triathlon is a combination of three sports: swimming, running, and the bicycle racing. And for example, imagine that if you throw trash in water or in a sea, where you would have the occasion to organize a triathlon. How come a swimmer would survive if we throw plastic, microplastic waste, let's say, or any other type of waste? This would lead to contamination and to water pollution. And this is how, through sports, we can encourage water management. Thank you very much for sharing, Nicole. This is absolutely a good point and underrated point that is not tackled at all. Talking about sports, how it provides affordable energy, sports entities like the sports stadiums and the sports clubs, take the example of the FIFA World Cup that took place in Qatar. They encourage the use of clean and renewable energy, use of solar panel, use of eco-friendly aeration, and most importantly, in Qatar, they worked on promoting this kind of energy efficiency. We consume electricity using renewable resources, not the non-renewable resources that at some point they would end up in scarcity in the long run, and that lead to this kind of pollution: air pollution, wind pollution, water pollution, whatever type of pollution that would come to your mind. Simultaneously, when we encourage uh, affordability of renewable energy, we encourage as well sports entities and organizations, when they are implementing their activities and operating on all levels, to implement sustainable energies in their business models. We encourage them to use more solar panels, more renewable energies, in order to encourage them to produce electricity naturally and in a very environmentally friendly way. Any question here? Any concern you would like to share before moving on? Okay, Now I'm gonna move to a topic that I think it would be easier for you. In your opinion, how sports contribute to boosting the economic growth worldwide, on a regional level, or a country? This question should be easier for you.
Yeah, this is the easiest لأنه you would think أول شيء إنه it's bringing in tourists, it's bringing in people to attend big events such as what happened in Qatar, for example. So um,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're absolutely right. You have just tackled a very good point, Miriam, which is related to sports tourism that we're going to talk about right after we receive more answers from the other participants. Zakaria says creating job opportunities. This is one of the key aspects. Definitely. What else? Let the answers flow and decorate. Yes, Ansam.
I think tourism, like Qatar, as Mariam said before,
Yes.
like Italy, as an example. Most of people going there because about their history in football.
Yes, it is one of the aspects. That's very good. Actually, like Miriam said, and Ansam and Zakaria, when organizing international sports events like the World Cup and maybe Tour de France or the European Cup that happens every 4 years, we're here boosting the economic growth of each country because the more tourists arrive to support their national team into the host country, the more we increase the income into the host country itself, and the more we promote sports tourism. And this would lead to increasing the gross domestic product, the production of the national production of any economy, leading actually and eventually to creating more employment opportunities and reducing unemployment among people who are in need of decent work conditions. And most importantly, this is a very crucial point that we have to talk about, that through sports, we encourage organizations to promote and produce sports goods within labor standards. And we can take as well here the example of the World Cup in Qatar. So many rumors, so many sources, so many news claimed that when building a stadium, many employees were physically and mentally abused. And this does not comply with the labor standards and the decent work and job conditions. And that's why it's very crucial to abide by the labor standards and the labor rules in order to ensure that we are producing sports goods and services in a very efficient way. Now I'm going to move to talk about a topic which is related somehow to the SDG 5, uh, which is related to ensuring a safe and sustainable community through sports. And here I would like to ask you guys, how do you think that sports can lead to have more sustainable and safe communities? How do you think that sports can lead us to have more sustainable and safe communities?
For the safe part, I would say because it boosts, this community aspect. That's how maybe you could have a safer environment for people to grow in. That's how I see it.
The
Did I
solidarity
get
one.
yeah, did I
Yes.
get the question right?
Yes. It is one of the aspects. You're right about that, Miriam. What do you have on your mind, Zakaria? Because I am seeing you thinking and thinking. Go ahead. Feel
Yeah,
free to
yeah.
unmute yourself. Don't be afraid.
All right. Okay. I just wrote what I had as an example because you've talked about Qatar many times, and I want to highlight the point of the infrastructure. So I wrote community engagement and social cohesion. So today, Qatar, they're hosting the Asian Cup,
Yes.
and the investment they have done for the World Cup it's serving them today. So I believe that the community engagement it's still
Yes.
ongoing because I'm part of some volunteers group in Qatar, and they're still calling for volunteers to come and join to support. So the
Yeah.
engagement of people are always there, and at the same time, they are aware that their role is very important to make the event successful.
You're
No.
absolutely right, Zakaria and Miriam. Thank you very much for sharing because sports is a great tool of reinforcing sustainability and safety in communities. How? Like you said, we encourage people on building solidarity and establishing mutual respect between each other, tolerating each other, and agreeing together on common goals in order to achieve safety and protecting themselves from any kind of danger or unexpected, unfortunate circumstances that could occur in their society. Moreover, when organizing sports competitions or sports activities, we align with protecting the universal rights and we increase this kind of coherence and cohesion between individuals, reducing inequalities between them, making sure that everyone is included in these kind of physical activities. And sports is a great tool for that, knowing the fact that sports not only promotes tolerance, communication, teamwork, and leadership, it is also an opportunity to tap into underprivileged communities or people who are at some point not feeling safe, like those communities who are affected by the tragic wars and political instabilities. We can take so many examples. We have Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, and many other countries who are hit by the tragic wars and political tension, because this would make people feel that they are safe, that they are physically comfortable, and they are able at some point to protect themselves. Moreover, since we talked about the decent job opportunities and working conditions, uh, when we enforce safety, we we oblige sports organizations and communities to comply with the labor safety standards. How? We ensure that the employee is not vulnerable or exposed to any kind of abuse, harassment, or racism, discrimination, and he is working under safe, sustainable, and decent working conditions. Otherwise, this would violate the labor right and this would negatively impact the reputation of sports organizations who are working with these employees. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, guys. How sports unleashes innovation? How, in your opinion, that when we organize sports organization competitions, events, or activities, we can unleash an innovation? And to make things easier to you, think of all the aspects of innovation: the social, the economic, the technological, the individual one, because there is a lot of aspects to tackle when we talk about innovation, especially when it comes to sports.
Okay, I can start.
Yeah, go ahead,
I have
Zakaria.
points in mind. The first one is technological, is also related to the equipment because if we check the stadium today, we're just having the online ticket and we can have access to the stadium, which is good. It's something that did not happen last 10 years or last 15 years. That's a good news. Second point, it's the training and coaching. So I want to highlight the point of the example, the famous example of FIFA. Whenever there is a World Cup, they open registration for people to register all over the world. Like they're asking for 20,000 volunteer. And imagine how we can onboard all people and how we can train them. Yani we are using the online training session, which is innovation here. We are talking about yani previously we could not have access to Zoom to train people about the event and everything. So I want to highlight 2 points: technology and equipment, And second point, it's training and coaching.
That's outstanding, Zakaria. Very good points. And I'm going to add to these points some other things related to uh, unleashing innovation. Like Zakaria said, that technology is highly accessible in the sports field, and it gives the opportunity to revolutionize sports industry, making it more resilient from against any mistakes, any inefficiencies, or any, let's say, sector that could compromise its great impact. And talking about technology, like Zakaria said, today we are talking about the online ticketing when we book tickets to attend sports events, sports competitions. The same applies to sports itself. Today, referees can refer back to the VAR, the video assistant referee, in the football. Even in basketball, we have the IRS to give the opportunity for referees to check if this foul should be counted, whether a technical or an unsportsman one. And here we talk about mobilizing sports communities around innovation and scale up. Scale up in terms of what? Any startup or any organization working in the sports industry would definitely think of integrating technology nowadays in order to boost its productivity and efficiency in providing services at the highest standards, hence leading to give the opportunity for them to scale up, increase their team, and expand their operations toward other places that they have never operated in before. Here we talk here about the use of the AI, the machine learning. These two main aspects that now are the future, and we can talk here about the esports, which is also this future of sports, using the gamification virtually in order to unleash the innovation. And take the example of so many esports nowadays who have been founded and created in order to make sports more accessible, not in person but also online. Do you have here any question, guys? Very nice. Now we're gonna move to talk about the inclusion, because when we talk about reducing inequalities, we encourage people with disabilities to take part in sports competitions. Take the example of the basketball on wheelchair. So many people with disabilities take part in national teams or sports competitions on wheelchair in order to have this opportunity and to enjoy playing basketball like any other person. And this way, we encourage reducing inequalities in sports. We make sports accessible to everyone. The same applies when it comes to talking about the accessibility to sports venues, sports organizations, sports stadiums, or even places to do some workouts. We should ensure that these entities and places have the opportunity for people with disabilities to access sports venues equally like any other type, like any other person, and most importantly, enjoy this opportunity to boost their physical health and mental well-being, so they feel themselves that they are part of a sustainable and great sports community. Moreover, since we have talked about discrimination, racism, and since we are highlighting the importance of empowering people with disabilities, it's very crucial to promote this type of diversity, like the European Union slogan, EU motto, "United in Diversity." And this is what sports is about. Sports unites everyone in their diversity, whether it is cultural, educational, physical, mental, psychological, and even cultural, because it gives the opportunity for everyone to tolerate the other and bring each other to values based on solidarity, mutual respect through organizing sports activities. And since Estelle talked about the responsible citizenship, I'm not gonna ask you this question, guys, because when it comes about to sports and responsible citizenship, we encourage individuals at first to promote among themselves a healthy lifestyle. They should eat healthy foods, avoid eating products that have uh, lots of fat that harms our body. For example, the fast food is not recommended for someone to consume abundantly when practicing sports, because this is something that affects our physical and mental health in a way and another. Moreover, we encourage people to practice more workouts, do more workouts, practicing more sports activities to increase and accelerate the metabolism. Moreover, and since we talked about using sustainable energies in the business models for organizations, it's very important for organizations, sports clubs, sports venues, sports centers to practice sustainability. How? They can shift into using recyclable bins, in order to contributing to protecting the environment and practice recycling. Moreover, we encourage using solar panels instead of the traditional way of generating electricity. This way, we achieve sustainability. And last but not least, because we talked about providing safe and sustainable communities in underprivileged communities, we all know that at some underprivileged communities, the level of crime and theft is too big, and delinquent behaviors are very, very, very abundant. When we organize sports activities for these underprivileged communities, we provide them the opportunity to reduce the antisocial behaviors, those behaviors that do not align with the universal social norms and values, that do not align with the principles of establishing safe and sustainable communities. And this way, we encourage people to become more responsible toward themselves and toward the other people living in their society. And last but not least, since we are talking about a healthy lifestyle, we encourage people to consume sustainably and adequately, aligning with the values of having healthy lifestyle. Now, guys, I'm gonna ask you this question: how do you think sports is a strong contributor to fighting against climate change? This question is a little bit trickier, but it's a great opportunity for you to dive deeply into the climate change aspect when it is related to sports, because we all know that climate change is the hottest topic worldwide, especially after the COP 28 aftermath and all what's happening all around.
Okay, I have a first reflection.
Yes,
Again, it's inspired from Qatar because they have done great job, and we have to admit that this is a good reference for Arab people. I want to highlight, I don't remember the name of the stadium, but it's promoting sustainable practices. That's the sentence I want to put. So Qatar, they built the stadium from reused metal. I don't remember the stadium, but it was a very, very nice, great idea to have stadium like this. Once the World Cup is done, they took it, they took it away. They built it from things that
recycled.
exactly, that's the point. I lost the word in English, conteneur, it's in French.
Yes,
Uh,
containers
yeah, that
maybe. Is
containers,
that what?
yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So promoting sustainable practices, that's a
Yes.
reference from
It is one of the aspects, actually. You are right about that. I want to to hear from Ansam and Wala. What do they think about that? Because we didn't hear their voices that much today.
Sorry,
Actually, I loved your question. So if you can repeat it again.
Yes, my question was how sports is a contributor to fighting against climate change. How through sports we can fight against climate change. The same to you, Ansam. If you have any answer, feel free to answer whatever comes to your mind, because in the at the end we are here to learn from each other. There is no wrong or right question answer here.
for me, it's maybe raising awareness, like what, uh, as Zakaria said before, like what Qatar is doing right now about raising like aware, not awareness, like raising campaigns about their country and about Qatar and everything. But for the climate change, maybe raising awareness about uh, using the sustainable stuff, like in football, maybe don't use the fast fashion or do stuff. I'm not that expert, sorry.
What is the example of sustainable stuff and sustainable behaviors that we should practice, in your opinion, since you talked about the World Cup?
Maybe okay. Maybe they will encourage them about the recycling since there is a lot of waste there in the
Yes,
stadiums.
very good. And what other aspect can, since we talked about becoming eco-friendly and becoming sustainable?
Uh, Maybe the teams will raising an awareness in the advertise by in إعلانات, as we said, about the about the climate change.
It may be the one, but think since we talked about sports venues, I'm gonna give you a hint so you answer the question.
Mhm.
Think of when you would go to the stadium.
When we go to this, okay. I think I don't
Yes.
know.
How
Um,
actually do you go to any place actually? What tool do you use when you go from a place to another?
Okay. What we say, عودة.
You can say in Arabic, no worries.
The
Okay,
movement.
عودة السيارات, as we said. Sorry, I'm living in Libya, so we don't have public transportations there. So this is not familiar for me.
Yes, absolutely. This is the answer. What answer do you have
Yeah.
also, Wala, since you were asking about the question?
Actually, I choose a plastic about raising awareness about our using for plastic.
Yes. Actually, guys, all your answers are right because when fighting against climate change, we enforce some standards related to becoming eco-friendly and sustainable. And like Zakaria said, talking about green innovation, we enforce producing services and products from recycled waste. And this is how sports can address the climate change issues that we're facing nowadays. Imagine that you are building a stadium from recycled waste. Imagine this innovation. Imagine this creativity. This is a great example of how we can tackle climate change. And like you said, guys, it's very important to anyone to seek and opt to eco-friendly transportation. We can use public transportation as a way to go to any sports venue or any sports competition to cheer for any team that we support. And last but not least, it's very important to take into consideration the fact that since we talked about sports tourism, we can also promote sustainable sports tourism from using paper for ticketing. We can opt to e-ticketing, the e-ticketing, for example, or we can encourage encouraging tourists not to use cars. Instead, they can ride bicycles or scooters or even use public transportation and do this kind of carpooling in order to make people go to any football event or for any sports opportunity that might arise. Is everything clear here, guys?
Yes, absolutely yes.
Very
yeah.
nice. Now we're going to move to another topic because we talked about the importance of managing water resources. Sports is a great tool to protect life below water. How? When we promote awareness in aquatic sports tournaments about reducing water pollution, managing it in a way that is accessible for athletes to practice their aquatic sports, and uh, building communities around reducing waste underwater and preserving the biodiversity, which is something crucial in order to tackle SDG 14. Moreover, when we organize sports, aquatic sports competition, sports that require the use of water, we are here focused on protecting all water resources and marine zones from any damage, pollution, or from being exposed to waste issues. Because we all know that plastic is one of the most waste thrown waste that is thrown into the sea, which is something that impact negatively the water, the quality of the water itself. And this way, we promote awareness about reducing pollution underwater. Moving forward, in our last part of this session, since we all talked about the interaction between a human being, the lifestyle, and how to adopt a healthy lifestyle in order to promote responsible citizenship among individuals and sports organizations, it's very important that sports activities lead people to create this connection between themselves and protecting biodiversity on land. How? When we encourage people to go hiking, hiking is a great example of sports that increases the interaction between individuals and the biodiversity, protecting the trees and forests from deforestation, protecting green zones from being polluted, or setting things on fire and flames, which is something that we see a lot. People destroy green zones just to build their own centers, uh, work on building new buildings. This is something, constructing new buildings. This is something that harms the ecosystem, harms the air quality, and harms as well the biodiversity, and it impacts the life of species. That's why when we organize sports activities, we encourage people to create this human interaction between enjoying a healthy lifestyle, practicing more physical activities, boosting the physical health and the biodiversity. Moreover, when we practice sports, since we are talking about biodiversity, people tend sometimes to practice sports in natural terrestrial ecosystems. Talking about nature terrestrial ecosystems, like we say in Arabic, بالأماكن الأرضية الطبيعية، يعني الأراضي الطبيعية اللي بيكون فيها العشب مثلا أو أي عنصر بالطبيعة موجود بشكل طبيعي، منه اصطناعي. not a virtual one, not an alternative to the real type of natural ecosystem. This is how sports preserves life on land. And since we all talked about sustainability, uh, it's important that in sports events and competitions eventually to establishing this kind of eco-friendly sports events like the one in the World Cup, promoting sustainability, eco-friendly practices in order to encourage fans, volunteers, organizers, and all the national teams competing to act for climate change and for preserving biodiversity on land. Now, guys, I will wrap up with the last question. In your opinion, how sports leads to creating this peace, intercultural dialogue, and the tolerance to each other? This is an easy question, in my opinion, and it's very crucial that you could answer it. It's a very easy question, I think, since we talked about so many things related to discrimination, racism, tolerance, teamwork, communication. And yes, Ansam, go
Maybe
ahead.
maybe because it's giving the opportunity for everyone. Like you don't have to be like a professor in a university to play sport. Like everyone, like sports, like it's like for everyone, you know.
Very nice point, and some. And here we talk about the sports for development. When someone is the best version of himself, not better than the other. That's a very good point that you tackled. I'm going to give you also a hint because someone talked about the FIFA World Cup that took place in Qatar. And this is an aspect of peace building in sports. Someone talked about a very good aspect of peace building through sports and related it to the FIFA World Cup.
Maybe it's create an friendly environment for the old people that they came to Qatar to watch the World Cup.
Not exactly that, actually.
I guess promoting dialogue and understanding, because in FIFA World Cup we can find countries that are having some political, diplomatical problems, and they still talk to each other, which is a promotion for dialogue and understanding.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one, which is related to intercultural dialogue. Zakaria, I think you talked about something related to using the online feature related to the FIFA World Cup, and it
Yes,
is also illustrates the intercultural dialogue. What is it
so
exactly?
I talked about the training and coaching online. Yani
Something
we're
similar,
using
training and coaching, something different for some people to help in the organization of the World Cup, to be
yeah.
exact.
Yeah. They open application worldwide for people. So they create this understanding while creating opportunities to work with a team. Yani we can find someone coming from Morocco working alongside with someone from Algeria, knowing that both we have this political problem, but inside FIFA we are just part of the team. We work to deliver, and this is something super great. Yani they're building peace by creating opportunities for youth. We can
Yes,
call it youth empowerment.
you're absolutely right, Zakaria, and that's what I'm gonna talk about right now, because
Okay.
today sports is a great tool to create this intercultural dialogue. First
So,
of all, between the volunteers, like you said, when someone from Morocco talks with someone from Lebanon or from another country. Here we are breaking
mhm.
the cultural barriers existing between people, and we are building this sense of tolerating each other, establishing this mutual respect, this communication from diverse backgrounds, languages, and cultures. Imagine that, guys, especially in the Olympic Games this year that will take place in France in July. We give this opportunity for everyone to communicate with the other regarding the language spoken by each person. And the same applies to countries, like Zakaria said, when they play in an international sports competition, they talk to each other. They reduce the negative impact of geopolitical tensions between each other. And this leads me to talk about how sports is a great tool to prevent uh, any type of extreme violence. Extreme violence when being in a war, like in Gaza, in Syria, and South Lebanon. Imagine that throughout sports activities, we can build peace, we can build sustainable development. We can work on encouraging people to communicate more often between each other, and this how we foster solidarity, and this how we foster this peace worldwide in a way that is uh, out of the box, that is better than the traditional approaches of advocating for peace building. And last but not least, since we talked about intercultural dialogue, eventually we will think of promoting peace and tolerance, like the one it happened in the World Cup in Qatar, when when so many people talked about the importance of building peace between all societies. Our last slide today. Uh, Today, sports is a great opportunity for all individuals, whether it's on a local, communal, national, regional, or international. Sports is a great opportunity to establish partnerships between the professional sports clubs, sports organizations, civil society entities, and other related stakeholders to collaborate in developing and strengthening any type of sports on a national level or regional in order to make sports more accessible for all individuals. Let's take the example of the Lebanese Basketball Federation. They established collaborations with schools and universities in order to promote basketball in all over Lebanon and provide the opportunity for high schools and universities to produce great talents who would take the chance to practice basketball at a professional level and later become a member of the national team. Imagine that. And we can also talk about Game Lebanon, which is a sports NGO that received the support and the funding from the European Union in order to organize, give the opportunity for youth to organize sports activities or work on creating their own sports ventures to reduce unemployment and help as many young individuals as possible to become entrepreneurs and empower underprivileged communities through sports. In the end, I would like to emphasize on the fact that sports, when it leads to establishing partnerships, we're talking here about how sports is highly linked to all the working sectors. Sports is highly linked to the retail industry. Sports is highly linked to respecting the human rights, is highly linked to law, the legal aspect. And most importantly, sports is highly linked to the environment, the climate action, the use of renewable energy. And in the finally, before wrapping up, I would like to emphasize on the fact that when we establish partnerships between sports entities, sports clubs, and all entities and stakeholders who are interested in sports, we contribute. All partners contribute together on seeing how sports contribute to achieving the sustainable development goals. Do you have any question? Do you have any feedback before we wrap up?
Thank you, Ryan, for everything. Actually, this session was a challenge for me because I'm not into sports, as you know.
Yes.
So I really enjoy it, and I'm so excited about other sessions for the same topic.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, Ansam, for joining, and I'm so delighted that you enjoyed the session. Anyone else?
Ryan, actually, today I explored another world of the sports. So thank you. Um, and yes, we are looking forward to another sessions with you, inshallah.
Hopefully, thank you very much, Wala, for your feedback, and I'm so delighted as well that you knew more about the other aspects of sports. Zakaria, I know that you have highly engaged and took part. I really appreciate it, and I really admire your participation. Any last words?
Yeah, can I speak in Arabic?
Yes, go ahead.
يعطيك ألف عافية Rayan for this amazing workshop. I've learned a lot of things. Actually, I put the rank of 6 out of 10 because I'm realistic. So right now, discovering what you mentioned, I can rechange my mind to rank myself 4 out of 10 because I'm still ignorant in many aspects. So thank you so much for enlightening us with such great, good information. يعطيك ألف عافية. That's it. Thank you.
A heartfelt thank you so much, Zakaria, for your engagement, for your input, for all the valuable information you shared. And I'm so honored that we all came up with this knowledge exchange because at the end, nothing is wrong. The wrong thing is you stop learning and you prevent yourself from continuous learning in all ways. And that's why I encourage everyone that you have to keep on persevering to access knowledge, to keep on learning in order to inspire everyone because you will never ever know at one day the right opportunity will knock on your door at the right time and you would become an inspiration for everyone. With that, I would like to thank you very much for attending and I look forward to meeting you in our more sessions and hopefully why not making it in person.
Ya Rab, inshallah.
Thank you very much again, guys, and hopefully we meet each other in future